Thank you so much for being a part of our Desert Purple Martin survey crew. This is the first year we're doing these surveys, so there's a lot of trying to figure out exactly what to do with these birds. This is an understudied subspecies. I could only find one scientific paper, and it was from the very early 1990s about these specific desert, saguaro nesting purple martins. So some of it is going to be sort of making things up as we go along a little bit, adding. If something seems really important to you while you're out here observing martins, let us know and we'll have a more refined, finalized protocol for next summer. I'm sure part of the crew, like myself, will be people who are from the American West who are not experienced at all with eastern purple martins. I'm very interested in observations from that perspective. If you're from the east and are very familiar with eastern, sort of the more traditional purple martins, and you want to compare the behavior we're seeing out here with these desert martins to those martins, I'm also extremely interested in that perspective as well. So both are incredibly valuable. So what you're going to do as someone who's helping with the Desert Purple Martin project for Tucson Audubon Society is either have your own patch of beautiful Sonoran desert habitat that may be on your own property or an area that you have access to, or you'll be assigned an area that is public. So right now we're filming in Greasewood Park, an area that's open to the public, City of Tucson land, that is lovely Sonoran desert habitat. We are standing right now in the middle of a purple martin colony. These desert martins are loosely colonial. They will, and this is known, this has been established, in the literature about these birds. They're loosely colonial and they will use saguaros that are sort of near each other, but they've never been documented in the same saguaro or too terribly close, although we've been watching two pairs just now that are only two saguaros apart. So what we're going to have people do is either come to their patch, have an assigned colony that they'll be observing, come regularly to that colony and make observations. Any behavior that stands out to you, we want documented with a date and time. You'll have a data form and a protocol explaining exactly what I'm saying. But basically you're going to be watching the martins. When you figure out where a saguaro is that they're actually nesting in, we want to be observing them from a safe distance away so as not to distress those birds or cause them any problems. So from 40 to 50 feet away, where with binoculars or a scope you can still get a good sense of what's going on. Just because a martin is sitting on top of a saguaro, it doesn't necessarily mean it's their nesting saguaro. We've seen them do this all morning where they'll be hanging out for a while on top of saguaros near their saguaro that they're actually nesting in. And then we'll watch them for a while, and then they will actually go to a specific woodpecker hole and be coming in and out, sort of looking out of the hole. That is going to be their nesting hole. And so we really want to document that exact hole as much as possible. We need coordinates of that exact saguaro, a photo of this saguaro, and some way, to indicate this exact hole, either through description, like the third hole up next to the little arm or something like that, or I just did a shot with my phone and used a drawing app to put a little circle around the hole. So we want to know the exact hole. If you figure out where the nesting hole is, we want to know exactly what it is and document that, since over years we want to document if they're using the same hole year after year, since there has been thoughts that this is something that these desert martins do. So another thing you really want to be aware of in your colony, because you're going to be doing multiple visits to this colony, you'll get pretty aware of what's going on, is you want to be aware of where other birds are and also documenting any interactions that your martins are having with other birds. We've been seeing house finches chasing martins all morning. Part of that might be because right now while we're filming, these saguaros are fruiting. That could be part of it. But if you see them interacting, we saw some martins sort of giving the side eye to a Gila woodpecker that was using a hole just below their nest hole. Anything like that we want to document. You also want to be aware of anything going on on a disturbance level. You want to really be looking out for snakes, first of all. We are walking around out in open wild desert. Really watch your feet for rattlesnakes. But if you watch where you're going and watch where you're walking, you should be okay. So for instance, I just noted that I flushed a roosting lesser nighthawk on her nest. Didn't mean to, didn't even know she was there until she flew. But now I know where her nest is. It's got 2 eggs in it. I know where her nest is, so for the future I will always give that a wide berth and observe. Unfortunately, it's only about 10 feet away from my target saguaro that has a nest in it. but I'll just approach it from a different angle to try to not disturb her. So just be aware of things like that. You know, any observations of what the martins are doing. We've been seeing a lot of what really seems like courtship this morning. We've got a martin sitting right behind us in the saguaro. We've been watching him all morning. He likes to hang out there, but he seems to be actually nesting in the saguaro next to it, to the left of it. He's going in and out of a hole, and a female's going in and out of a hole just to the left of that bird sitting back there. So really sort of just, you know, recording sort of kind of old school natural history observations is what we're looking for here. You know, watching your birds for a while, find a comfy, maybe shady spot, you know, 40, 50 feet away. Really watch them and get information about what time they're coming in and just anything they're doing. Are they chasing each other? Are they, are they chasing each other? Are they courting? Are they carrying food, carrying nesting material? They should be putting some stuff in the nest. This has been documented, either leaves, or we saw one carrying what looked like a piece of saguaro fruit rind yesterday, flying around with a piece of saguaro fruit. So any observations like that, date, time, and what you're observing is going to be extremely helpful because so little is known about these birds. And any protocols, anything that you find works particularly well for you in terms of getting good information about them, starting a specific time or waiting a specific time, please let me know so we can make a more confirmed protocol for the future. But we are going to also be going around with endoscopes and long poles to try to peek into some of these nests to get some more concrete information about when eggs, things that you can't see from the outside, when eggs or chicks or nestlings are in the nest. So we'll be setting that up with you guys individually and probably having a Tucson Audubon staff member, because we only have a couple pieces of equipment. Tucson Audubon staff member coming by and checking this stuff out. So thank you so much for helping with this 2020 pilot summer desert nesting purple martin study during our monsoon season. Thank you so much.